Salam viewers, this is your host Muhammad Ali Haider and you're watching your very own career quest where dreams meet direction. Today, we'll delve into the industry of biotechnology. What really is biotechnology? What are the future prospects of this industry? And what really means to be a biotechnologist? For that, we'll put our questions in front of one of prominent educationists who has been teaching biology for last almost a decade, and he is a biotechnologist himself as well. My teacher, Sir Saad Farooq Ziai. Sir, I welcome to the show. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much. Walaikum assalam, Ali.
Sir, to begin with our discussion, I'd want our viewers to watch this report. We'll get back to you.
Biotechnology is shaping a brighter, smarter future, transforming healthcare, agriculture, and industry with groundbreaking innovations. From life-saving vaccines to genetically improved crops, biotech is helping us solve some of the world's biggest challenges. In Pakistan, this field is growing rapidly. The universities, research centers, and startups stepping forward to make a global mark. Young minds are being inspired to explore careers in genetic engineering, molecular biology, and bioinformatics. With the right support, policies, and education, Pakistan's youth can lead the next wave of biotech innovation. The future of biotechnology is not just promising, it's powerful. Let's invest in it, learn from it, and grow with it for a healthier, more sustainable tomorrow.
Welcome back from the report. Sir Saad, to begin our discussion, first of all, I'd like to ask you, what really is biotechnology?
All right, so that's a very basic and a very good question and a very important one as well. Biotechnology is such a science, wherever there is life, there is a molecule which is called DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid, and everyone is aware of this word DNA. So DNA is actually our software. All of the information of any organism is stored inside that DNA.
All right.
So biological sciences is very complex in itself, but yet there is an underlying simplicity. And that simplicity is within this DNA and amino acid sequence.
All right.
DNA is information, and this is the information to make proteins. And rest of the organisms, they have proteins in their bodies.
Okay.
Water and protein and then DNA and other molecules interacting with each other. So any life form, starting from very basic one, bacteria, up till elephants and giraffes and maybe dinosaurs or whatever,
Okay.
including plants as well, they have same basic composition of DNA. Right. So and the body's cell structures, they are mostly unable to recognize the DNA if there is a foreign DNA within them.
Okay.
So scientists, what they do is they exploit and they manipulate the DNA, the genetic code of different living organisms for their commercial pursuits.
Okay.
Right. So what they do is they take a gene, they take a sequence of DNA from one organism that is in our commercial benefit. For example, if we want to make some growth hormone and we are unable to produce it commercially, what we can do is we can take a gene from your body, from a human body, and then we can insert that gene into any commercially viable organism, and then we can start having that production on a commercial scale.
That's interesting.
That's very interesting. So DNA exploitation, DNA manipulation, positively, commercial manipulation, it's biotechnology. So biotechnology is a set of techniques. It's understanding, development of new techniques, and becoming master of those techniques.
So your point is noted, sir. There is a preconceived notion regarding this industry of biotechnology that maybe it's all about medicine or it has some sort of association with medicine only. Is that true? If not, then what really makes biotechnology different from medicine as well as medical industry?
I can make it very simple and clear for your audience. There are 4 colors in biotechnology, and there are 4 major domains in biotechnology.
Okay.
Number 1, it is green biotechnology.
Okay.
And it deals with all the agricultural practices, making new varieties, making such crops which have more per acre yield, which are insect resistant, pest resistant, herbicide resistant crops. So that is green biotechnology.
Okay.
The second one is blue biotechnology.
Okay.
And in this we deal with the marine biology. You know that 70% of the life form is within the oceans, within the
Very true.
in marine biology, aquatic ecosystems. So in blue biotechnology, we deal with all the life forms that is, and all the commercial aspects that are coming from the ocean. Third one is white biotechnology, and this is what you were mentioning, medicine.
Okay.
So starting from making new organs, developing new organs in the bodies, and stem cell technology and many other things, right? And the fourth one is black biotechnology,
Okay.
which is called bioweapon technology.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right. Sir, you obviously come across a lot of students, especially biology students. So, what are those basic requirements you think a student must have to become a biotechnologist?
Interest.
Okay.
If you have an inquisitive mind, if you're curious about life, if you're curious about the processes, the phenomena, then the biotechnology is a very good thing for you.
Okay.
So remember that whenever we talk about this degrees in biotechnology, they make you familiar and equipped with all the techniques.
Okay.
It's like teaching you how to make words. It's like teaching you alphabets.
All right.
So if I'm making this simpler, so now it's upon your creativity that you start writing proses and you start writing poetry or whatever creativity is there. It's your product of your personality.
Very true.
So it works in the same way.
Okay.
Whenever there is no surety that if you start delving into this career of biotechnology, you are not a creative person. If you don't have that inquisitive nature in you, then how are you going to explore different new things? How are you going to think out of the box?
Okay.
So if you have a quest for life, if you have a quest for biological sciences, and biotechnology is just a group of techniques that implies on many things. Maybe someone have an interest in bacteriology, so they need to be well equipped with biotechnology in order to exploit, in order to explore things in bacteriology. If someone is interested in plant sciences or in animal sciences or whatever life sciences field, biotechnology is now a must.
Sir, I got your point, but sir, I want to know that majority of the biology students pursue medicine or they just want to become a doctor. And what I feel is that students don't really know about biotechnology as much as they know about becoming a doctor. Do you think that there is a need for our students to know more, especially through our teachers?
Yeah, that is something very obvious. Actually, in Pakistan, not just in biology, in other sciences as well, that they know that there are only 3 to 4 careers. Either they can become a computer expert,
Exactly.
or they can become an engineer, or they can become a doctor. So yes, apart from biotechnology, along with the biotechnology, there are many interdisciplinary biological approaches there.
Okay, what are
For
those?
example, you can become an environmental biotechnologist. You can become as I mentioned earlier, you can become a plant scientist. You can become a bacteriologist. You can become an entomologist, the ones who study insects. That is very important. So yes, I think that it's a very good initiative that you are taking. That, and it's also very promising in monetary terms as well. For example, if you are doing a research and that 99% of the domains, 99% of the genomes in the organism, they are yet unexplored. So it's just like sitting on a treasure house, right?
Very true.
So it's in monetary terms, it's also very promising. For example, that if you are working on any enzyme, if you are working on any new gene, and you come across a new gene and you file a patent on them, and if later on in the whole world, if someone wants to set an industry, he wants to make business, so just because of your patent, you can make a lot of money while doing nothing. So it's in monetary terms, it's also very, very promising. Not only that, if you file a patent and someone starts earning from your formula, you can also do some micro businesses. Biotechnology is not about this is a wrong notion that biotechnology is about creating clones. It's about creating big things. It's about creating a very hefty labs. No, if you are innovating with making a new form of a pickle, that is also biotechnology. If you are trying to improve the quality of yogurt that someone is eating, that is also food biotechnology. If you are researching with some good baker's yeast variants that are producing better breads and better cakes, that is also biotechnology.
True.
So micro biotechnology businesses, they have a lot of scope that most of our students, they don't think about.
Your point is noted, sir. So you talked about environment, and there are a lot of environmental challenges that Pakistan is currently facing. How much important it is for us as a nation and as a country to explore and invest in the industry of biotechnology right now?
Well, right now, Pakistan, is an agrarian country. We have an agricultural based economy. And being an agrarian country means that we have many raw products.
Okay.
We have many raw materials coming as a byproduct of our agricultural industry.
True.
And what else do you need? If you want to set an industry for biotechnology, you have lots and lots of cheap resource.
True.
So, in terms of medicine, in terms of pharmaceuticals, in terms of nutraceuticals, in terms of many other things, we have a lot of waste materials for us. So, we just have two ideas for those waste. Either we burn it or we feed it to some cattle or farming practices. We make khals of those things, and so we can make a lot of things. We can extract a lot more metabolites from them than we are doing currently, and we can start exporting it.
Okay. So, talking about the universities right now, especially those that are teaching biotechnology in Pakistan, do you think that whatever is being taught there is relevant to the global trends with regards to biotechnology?
Very much.
Okay.
History of biotechnology is not older than Pakistan. Yeah, so this is a new field. It has not even completed its first 100 years.
All right.
And many of the legends that we study, many of them, they have just started passing, in this era, in this decade.
All right.
Right? Watson and Crick, if we talk about, Barbara McClintock and many other people. So the best thing is that whatever our graduates are studying in our universities, those same contents are being studied by the graduates of the first world countries, of very, very advanced
That's very
nations.
important for our students to know.
Yeah, that is very important. So whatever our student is learning in our class, for example, if they're learning about electrophoresis or PCR or CRISPR technology or whatever, microarrays or fluorescent in situ techniques, whatever, same techniques are taught in Yale, in Cornell University, in many, you name it. So the contents are same, but creativity is different, environment is different. So
that's what makes the difference.
Yes, so if our students, they come across a new idea and they start developing a product out of it, so they are equally competent, they can sell it to anyone.
All right. So with that point that you have just said, as you earlier talked that it's all about interest. Talking about the educational background, what are the requirements for a student to study biotechnology? What should he or she should have had studied earlier?
Yes, biology.
Okay.
For sure. Biology and chemistry is one of the best combinations if someone wants to pursue his or her career in biotechnology. So, as I have said earlier, biotechnology in combination with biochemistry, in combination with bacteriology, in combination with microbiology, in combination with plant sciences, animal sciences or whatever. So, if someone is opting biology and chemistry in his or her matriculation, in intermediate or O levels or A levels. So that is the combination that universities they are looking for when you're applying there for graduation programs.
All right, so your point is noted. With that, I'd like to know that one of the major challenges that we are currently facing is unemployment. How unemployment is seen in the industry of biotechnology? Is it the same with regards to other industries, or do you feel that there is yet a lot of room to be covered by the students?
There's a lot more unemployment in biotechnology, the field of biotechnology, yes. So I know many universities that have reduced the number of seats for their graduates.
Okay.
And the main reason is that we don't have industry and university collaboration.
Okay.
We need to know why a university initiates a project. You know that there is one higher education commission, there is a federation of science and technology, and many other universities are connected with at one common platform. So have you ever wondered why a university initiates a research in one domain? Because in that niche there is a demand from some industry.
Very important.
So actually industries are driving forces behind the researches in universities. So in some of the countries, even in Qaid-e-Azam University, I've graduated from there as well. So I know that industries, they directly contact universities and professors and they start funding those researches.
Okay.
Right? So they say that we want this enzyme, we want this metabolite, we want this product. So start working on it. So many people, many students, they graduate in that project. Many students, they get their MPhil or a PhD degree, and then that industry is benefited. So actually industry is the driving force.
All right.
When there is no demand from industry and there is a department, there are professors, there are students, so what they start doing is they start researching in no direction. Whatever someone is curious about, they start exploring it. So that leads to nowhere.
Okay.
That leads to nowhere.
So you talked about industry.
Yes.
That infers, or that allows us to infer that there is a need to invest in that industry as well. What sort of investment do you think is the best for the current era? Because obviously there are various forms of investments. So what is the initial step with regards to the investment in the biotechnology department needs to be taken?
Production of solvents.
Okay.
You know that Brazil is one of the countries that is best known for production of sugarcane.
Okay.
And with sugarcane, it's not just about sugar. Raw materials of sugarcane can produce far more better products, far more expensive products than sugar.
People don't
like
know
solvents.
that. Even I didn't know that.
Like solvents.
Okay.
So what they are doing is that they are producing enough ethanol that they have converted more than 70% of their fuel consumption on that ethanol based
Wow.
solvents. So they are producing bio-friendly petrols. They are producing bio-friendly diesels. So you know that in any economy of any country, this electricity, this fuel, this is very important thing. So we can cut the cost of many of our industrial products if we start investing in production of solvents.
All right. So let's talk about biotech entrepreneurship, as we just talked about industry. You know, it's very hard in our youth to become an entrepreneur or to start or initiate a startup, because we have certain sort of culture here in which we are more prone to go for a job than have our own startup. So how do you think we can motivate our youth towards startup and entrepreneurship culture?
I will advise our youth to, for example, if they don't have any new idea or novel, you know, thinking about a novel idea is a very difficult thing.
Very true.
Whatever you think, someone has already, done that. Most of the time when you do the literature review, you come across this thing, yeah, whatever I'm thinking,
It's been already
someone
done.
else has already done it. So I would advise my young biotechnologist to, on the first step, to just start reproducing the things
Okay.
in a cheaper way. So research about, there are many research papers available, there are many. So look about, the first thing is to look up to a raw material that is available in your area. For example, if someone is living in Sargodha, so I'm sure that there is a big citrus market there.
Yes, very true.
And all those citrus fruits, the one which is wasted inside the orchards, what they do, they just discard it. So you can extract a lot of vitamin C based product from those citruses, right? So first thing is to look for the raw material that is cheaply available, and sometimes they even give you money to take it off from from there, because for them that is waste. Number one, look for a raw material.
Okay.
And number two, look for a similar research project that someone else has done in their country with some other raw materials, and try to produce something while you are studying in your university. And then when you start working, then you will come across some creative ideas, you will come across some good techniques or whatever. Just think about it.
Okay.
Just talk about it. Just discuss that thing with your colleagues, with your mentors, with your professors, and start searching about it on YouTube and internet or whatever sources of information you have. Then for sure one day you will get across something. So just focus on one little micro business. So if you are successful in developing one little product, that can have a huge market one day.
Very true.
Yes.
So I totally get your point, sir. We talked about how we need to bring our youth towards interest-based decisions.
Yes.
Talking about brown culture, and we already talked that there are certain industries or certain paths that our parents or our family or our surrounding makes us choose. We initiated this idea of career quest, keeping in view that sort of mindset that we need to make a change here. How do you see the importance of career counseling with regards to this culture that we are surrounded by?
It's very important. Whenever we communicate with our elders, they always say that in our time we were unaware of many things.
True.
So there was no internet, there were no social media platforms, and there were no sources from where they could get that information. But now, in these days, that internet is there, and the programs like this Career Quest, they are there. So it's very important. I think it's going to have a huge impact on our youth. And if someone has interest, for example, I met a student. He was very interested in conservation sciences. Yes. So he said that I want to become a conservationist. He was very fond of National Geographic Channel, and he always used to see the people, rescuing birds and things like that. So it was very unfortunate for me to tell him that there is no conservation sciences offered in graduation anywhere in Pakistan. Then I suggested him to go for sustainable development and study environmental sciences, because I said that start doing this. One day you can connect this with any conservation science in any foreign university, so you can connect it. So, for example, if you are interested in doing something which is not offered here, you have to approach certain people, such people which can give you an alternative line, which can somewhere in your life can connect with the thing that you want to do. Right.
Sir, to conclude, I'd want your concluding remarks regarding the idea of Career Quest, and with that, what would you like to suggest the young pursuers of biotechnology?
Look, whenever you take your child to a school or a university or a college, whatever you are expecting, you expect them to teach your child the basics. I have never seen anyone coming to an institution and saying that he's my child, I want you to make him an Einstein, or I want you to make him Charles Darwin. So your teachers and your university and whatever environment you have around you, they can take you to a certain extent. Beyond that, you have to go with your own creativity, with your own quest, and with your own curiosity. So stay curious, stay interested in things around you, and keep observing things, and keep on connecting the dots, connecting the points.
Very important.
Yes. So one day you will come across some very good ideas, and you can excel in the field.
Your point is noted, sir. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me, Ali.
My
it was
pleasure,
a pleasure.
sir. My pleasure. With that, as we have learned from Sir Saad today, that persistence and consistency is the most important element behind your success. And most importantly, do not forget to connect your dots, because that's what life is all about. This is your host, Muhammad Ali Haider, signing off. Till next time, Allah Hafiz.